For the past several years, liminal spaces have become popular. Images like this make us feel something. On one hand, a certain sense of lonely dread. On the other, comfort that goes back to our childhood. Back to a time when things still made sense and we felt optimistic about what the future would bring. Back before the ugly face of reality showed us the pain of life. Have you ever wondered what is the first video game that invoked this emotional feeling? The answer is simple, but we must go back in time. Back to the year of 2001. Grand Theft Auto 3 has developed a mysticism that was unpredictable when it was first released almost 25 years ago. The game was quickly surpassed by later installments in the series. Vice City and San Andreas are more fondly remembered for their gameplay, story, missions, and features. Since then, the popularity of the newer HD games, GTA 4 and 5, have changed the way people view the series as a whole. This leads to the question, why would anyone want to go back to GTA 3 except to feel some old nostalgia? This is why. Over the years, our memories of GTA 3 have changed in more ways than one. We have watched the world shift in a way that makes us nostalgic for a time that no longer exists in the real world. Underneath the missions and the open world game design, there is something else here. Back in the day, if you played this game when it first came out, you only had your imagination to go on. Not everyone had internet back then, and there was a strong chance that you played this on a console. So you had no way to look up a guide. There were no fan wikis back then to tell you the lore. You had to use your imagination and just let your mind wander. The story and characters are simple, created with the bare minimum to allow the player to immerse themselves in the world. The character model is a good example of this. A black leather jacket and cargo pants make you blend right in with the world. Who are you? Since the player never speaks, you can be anything you desire if you put your imagination to it and let yourself be curious. The protagonist is you, and you're the star of this game. You're the only person who will ever explore this city. Unlike later GTA games, this one is not a power fantasy. The storyline is barely there. You won't be buying properties or taking over the map. There are only 3 safe houses and each one have their own garage. The real story of GTA 3 are the memories we created by exploring. At the time, I can see why someone would criticize this game when it was first released. What are you supposed to do in the open world besides create chaos? As time has went on, people remember the atmosphere of this game because there is nothing else like it. You only have to play the game for half an hour and just watch as the fog sets in and overwhelms your entire field of view. The city turns to dusk and you're driving and walking through smoke and watching the lights from afar. I've seen comparisons to Silent Hill, but since GTA 3 there has been no other game that has done this. I think it had to do with graphical fidelity and limitations at the time. This is something that cannot ever be replicated, even when it is tried. You may think you're not alone in this world, but you are. These pedestrians are the true definition of NPC. They are programmed to walk in pathways back and forth. They will disappear and then reappear the further you move away. Sometimes they stop and try to talk to each other, but they never have any real conversations. They just spit out words and talk at each other, not unlike how bots do on social media sites. Other than these rare interactions at random, they're just walking endlessly with no purpose. Another reminder that you are alone. There is no one coming to step foot through the door of this building. Or that one. No one will come to work any day at this office. No one will ever step in or out the front doors of the many apartment towers. Not a single person will ever wander near the many park benches in this game. No one is coming to sit and chill with you looking out at the creepy lighthouse. Or a place like this to sit and have lunch on a lonely day. The people in Liberty City are not glued to their phones. They're not doom scrolling as they walk aimlessly about the days and nights. They simply exist without the distraction of a screen in front of their faces. This game came out in an era where internet cafes were still a thing. You can find yourself in an internet cafe and see screenshots of the first and second GTA games on old CRT monitors at that. Nowadays, places like this are completely irrelevant. Wi-Fi hotspots exist and everyone can browse freely with their phone with no need to interact with another person existing in their space. Speaking of phones, you will never see anyone stop and use a payphone. They are there and a few serve for mission purposes, but other than that, no one will ever come to use one. For my generation, we look at things like this and it reminds us how the world used to work. Gen Z has grown up in a confused world yearning for a time they did not live through. I believe the whole reason the vaporwave aesthetic is so popular is because it harkens back to a time when there was still optimism. The idea of the American dream felt real. Younger generations have had to live through an era where most of our entertainment is cynical and even nihilistic. As soon as you start this game and get into that blue Kuruma, you're greeted with the sound of head radio. Upbeat, fun, soft rock music that sounds cheerful. Another channel, Lips 106, is also full of original music that has that old, fun pop sound that is absent today. We used to be happier people before we became scared of everything. GTA 3 came out in a time before we had become desensitized by seeing the most awful things imaginable across social media platforms. So there was a sense of shock and horror at the contents of this game that made it so controversial. Today, nothing shocks us anymore. We are numb to seeing atrocities we witness through screens, so the thought of moral panic regarding this old game might even make us laugh now. What we are left with are the many creepy liminal spaces buried in this old game. I like the construction site. It's one of my favorite locations to explore. No matter how many days pass, this project will remain incomplete. What was it supposed to be? We could spend years wondering. If you go upstairs, you'll find a floor that looks eerily similar to the back rooms. Like all the other areas in this game, it's abandoned, and you will be the only person stepping foot there. There are hidden places in this game that resemble liminal spaces. This one can be found in the St. Mark's area. This area is quite literally a liminal space with words. You weren't supposed to get here, you know? That reads like a text you would expect to see in Liminal Core and Dream Core photos. The car parks always gave me an unsettling feeling. They're abandoned and a lot of times no cars spawn there. You just know no one will ever come to collect their car to go out cruising in the city. Just as no one is ever going to arrive at this diner to have a meal. You will never have to worry about anyone else walking in on you in the bathroom stall. This is another place that always felt weird to me because the camera changes multiple times as you walk around here. At face value, it's just a dirty public bathroom, but as the years go by, it becomes a strange liminal space. There is a shopping mall that looks abandoned. People will walk by it on the street, but they never go in. Kind of like how in real life we've watched malls disappear with major online stores replacing them with the convenience to shop from your screen. The windows are blank of any advertisements for stores. For all we know, this could be any local shopping mall where we live. The houses on Shoreside Vale are much the same. Welcome to liminal suburbia. There will never be anyone come out of that door to greet you. No one will venture to their backyard and go for a swim. These houses look perfect, an example of the American dream that we were promised. Have you ever wondered what is inside some of the big skyscraper buildings? They are their own liminal spaces. They are unfinished, and you were never supposed to venture into them. But it's not hard to imagine them being used by people in parts of a bygone era. You will never see anyone walk through these doors, so you're left wondering who lives here? Who lives in these giant buildings? The lights come on at night, but no one is home. You are all alone. You can always go back anywhere in GTA 3, but no one will be there. You can wander for hours and it will feel like you have gone nowhere. When the fog comes in and you look in the distance at the glowing lights illuminating the streets forward, you know you haven't made it anywhere. You're stuck here forever in a place that will never change, no matter how many days go by. Time stands still in this place between dreams and reality. Everything will always be the same, similar to the photos we look at while we're depressed, trying to remember better days. What could have been is the one question we always ask ourselves as the years pass by. If you're a part of the millennial generation, then you know nothing has felt right since the day those towers fell. For Gen Z, they often share similar feelings. They know things haven't been right for a long time. They too have had their own struggles in life that has shaped how they view the world. After everything has fallen apart, we are still here, walking with shadows across a city stuck in time, remembering when the world still made sense. That's what GTA 3 means to me personally. It is a time capsule back to another era. What does it mean to you? I would be interested to know. So leave me a comment, share this video out. Hit the like button so other people may see it. I assume if you made this far listening to me talk that I've given you something to think about. I hope you consider subscribing and give me the encouragement to make future videos like this. Thank you for watching.